Cody here, and welcome to today's episode of Breakfast with Cody Gall. And yes, sir. Today, I'm going to talk about the Caravan smashing into the southern border of the United States of America. But before I do want to say that I went and confronted Antifa on Black Friday, which was like a week ago, and I'm still recovering. Antifa literally made me sick, and really sick, like bad, and you can still kind of hear it, but I am still alive. So anyway, this caravan has hit the border, okay, and what the whole point of this caravan is psychological warfare. It is not just the caravan coming in, it's also the mainstream media using the caravan for psychological warfare. And yes, there is a long-term agenda to flood the country with illegal immigrants so that it will crash our economy, thus creating Venezuela-like conditions here in America. But that's a long-term goal. On the short term, what they're trying to do is use this caravan to freak everybody out, basically. And it's a combination of get the anti-Trump people pissed off at Trump, give them one more reason to be pissed off at Trump, but at the same time, demoralize the pro-Trump people. And so that's what Sunday was all about, in my humble opinion. It was to try to get the liberal anti-Trump people another reason to hate Trump, and give the conservative pro-Trump people a reason to doubt Trump, because they're all really obsessed with Donald Trump. In the mainstream media and in the deep state. Almost makes you feel like there's things going on behind the scenes that freaking them out. Who knows? But it's definitely psychological warfare. And so, first of all, we've seen this. This is a couple hundred or so people crossing the border, is what we've been told. But it's not true. Those trucks in that water, that's not the border. The border isn't this one exact line. The border is really the fences up on top of that hill. And if you can see, the people are running up the hill, but then they're just running back and forth along the fences. So it's not like they're just pouring into the country. It gives that impression because of the line created by that water, but that's not our border. The border is the fences, and in Tijuana there's multiple layers of fences, and they're protected by Border Patrol and ICE and supposedly now the military. So it's not like these people are just pouring into the country. This was meant to demoralize Trump supporters and make them think that people are pouring into the country. So also, there's like 10,000 people in Tijuana right now. At least it's a different number going based on what source you go to. But there's many thousands of people in Tijuana, and that's not many thousands of people. That is just a few hundred. And so what they're, I believe, doing is this was all a big test, as well as a way to try to demoralize Trump supporters. They're testing the fences. Dogs do it. They're when they're in a fenced-in area, some dogs will test the fence to see, can I get out anywhere? Where is it weak? And there's Border Patrol patrolling these fences. So somehow these hundreds of people knew to go to that exact spot at that exact moment, and they wouldn't be immediately confronted by Border Patrol. Which leads me to theorize that there may be people watching Border Patrol and watching where they're patrolling and knowing where they are and where they aren't at any given moment, which would make sense. So that was all a big test. And then now we've seen this picture. This picture was meant to piss off people to hate Trump. This picture needs to be analyzed, okay? So first of all, this is the big picture because it's cropped a lot of times and you just see this. But the big picture is this. Now look in the background. You see this guy with a camera. And what we're told is that everybody is fleeing from tear gas. Tear gas is not doesn't discriminate based on whether you have a camera in your hands. Okay, it's not like holding a camera in your hands makes you impervious to the effects of tear gas. So this guy back here is chilling, no problem. People in front of him are acting all under distress, but he's not. This guy over here with this tripod, also not running from anything, but yet he is filming this guy over here who is running from something, but running in a different direction than the woman in the foreground. But what's really telling is this picture was taken from one of those cameras behind this woman. So go back to this picture, you see the woman in the black sweatshirt behind the main woman with the Disney princesses, the Frozen princesses. Behind her is that younger woman in the black sweatshirt. Well, in this picture, she's now in the foreground. And then look at the colors of that shirt. The color of her shirt behind the Frozen princesses is the same color of the shirt here. And those are the children. That's the moment that this picture was taken, but from the back. And look at the camera guy taking this picture. He's just straight chilling. Why is he not running from the tear gas? Now, here is the woman later with the supposed tear gas canister that she's running from. Who in their right mind would go back and get if there's tear gas pouring out of this canister, why would you go back and pick it up? How would you even be able to? You wouldn't be able to breathe around it, right? And so these are the supposed tear gas canisters. Okay. But look at what it really is. It's not tear gas. It's just a smoke bomb. It's a training. These things are made for training. It's harmless smoke coming out of these things. It might have an odor to it, but it is not like legitimate tear gas. Like, not at all. And so, again, this is just the mainstream media has people, not me, not you, but a lot of people hypnotized. And the hypnotist can't stop swinging the little watch. Once the hypnotist hypnotizes you, the hypnotist has to keep swinging the little watch and keep speaking with that weird tone of voice, or else you'll snap out of it. So that's what's going on here. This is just more hype, really. It's nothing anybody should care about. Yes, I've heard reports that a couple, like 200 or 300 people did get over the border and were immediately detained by Border Patrol. They did not pour into the country. They were detained by Border Patrol. But they were detained by Border Patrol in California, which means that there's all this conflict between the federal laws and the state laws. So we'll see what actually happens to these people. But they're, at the present moment, detained. Nobody came into our country, except for a couple hundred people got in and were immediately detained. Nobody was tear gassed. And even if they were, I mean, this is an invasion. What do they expect? But it didn't even happen. This is just all such nonsense. However, supposedly the main invasion is coming in the next couple of days.